go speaker to speaker, write down what each speaker is actually measuring, and then you'll have a complete picture of this is what the room correction did for me. Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Today I've got a big tip, completely free, that could make a huge difference in your immersion level in your Atmos theater. Now, this is going to apply whether you've got 2, 4, 6, or more speakers. It also applies to absolutely anybody, whether you're just using the basic calibration in whatever receiver you have or any of the room calibration software suites out there. It doesn't matter what name it is. Trust but verify. I am certainly guilty of forgetting to do this from time to time, especially in the days when I was running Dirac, where every version you had to double check everything because you didn't know if things were going to actually measure the way they said they were going to come out. But here's what I'm talking about today. Just verifying your speaker levels. This can absolutely make or break the 3D bubble of sound in your system. And if you want a really quick way just to instantly tell if you've got a nice cohesive bubble, things are sounding like they're supposed to, just check out the title sequence, the intro sequence on any of the season 2 Severance episodes. Really nice cohesive bubble. You're going to hear the effects and the music and the background and everything all around you in the back of your theater, but right around where you're sitting. And then a lot of music right here in the front of your stage. It's a very distinctive intro and just very easily, like I said, to instantly play it and think, oh wow, yeah, that's a really nice bubble. Or, well, yeah, I kind of hear sound up on the ceiling, or I hear that speaker over there. That's a big difference, and that's kind of what getting your levels dialed in can change about your system. Now, of course, this only applies to one seat, and the seat should be physically in the right spot, centered between all the speakers. If you've got your seating arranged where you're off center and you don't have a seat, I see a lot of people that they're going to place a couch or even 4 theater seats, and they don't have a centered seat. They have no perfect seating position in their entire theater. This isn't going to apply. So you do have to have one true centered main listing position for this kind of thing to work. Otherwise, you're always working on averages. Nothing will ever be perfect, and it's just a degree of how good enough is everything. You can never have more than one perfect seat. So what we're doing today is just using REW or virtually any SPL meter. Either, a good old school Radio Shack that I used to have, can't find it right now for this video. You can also use a good SPL app on just about any phone or tablet. This is going to work just fine for this. But REW, if you have that, that's all you need. Has a built-in SPL meter on it. We're not taking any measurements. We're not even connecting the computer to the system, because all we're going to play is a free downloadable Atmos test track directly from Dolby. There are 3 of them out there. Don't worry about them if they cover more channels than you have. Just skip when it's playing those and just concentrate on when it shows you your particular speakers. They have one track that covers 2 Atmos channels, a track with 4, and a track with 6. Just pick whichever one you have and run through that. I'll put the links to those down in the description. You can just download them. You do have to have a way of playing them. If you have Plex or Kodi or MB or Jellyfin or anything like that, no problem. Just plop them on your server and you're good to go. Your particular setup, maybe you can put them on a thumb drive if you've got a physical Blu-ray player that can accept that and play the file that way. However you have to play the file, it's an MKV file just like anything else out there. That's what you're going to have to do to play this. So that's going to be your first step. Download your files, get your SPL meter of choice ready. Now in the meter, whether it's in REW or a physical or a phone app, you want to choose Z weighting. That's going to give you the most even results for what we're doing. And all we're talking about are your bass level and Atmos speakers. This isn't anything about the subwoofers. This isn't anything about your house curve or anything about that. This is just getting all of your speakers working cohesively together. So all we're going to do is fire up the test track, and then it's going to go through and show you on screen what speaker is playing and note the level. And what I do is I make a physical representation of my layout. First, I go through in the processor or receiver. Before I even begin, I should have mentioned this, and just write down what are your settings now? Now, maybe that's out of the box, which in case it's not going to really show much. But if you're checking after your room correction or your calibration or anything like that, write down what you've got in there now so you can easily go back if anything goes wrong. All right. So you write down what you got, and then volume wise, it doesn't really matter. It should be a loud volume, but not any particular screaming value. 75 dB on the meter, that's going to be just fine. It's not going to blow your doors out or anything like that. And it's easy to work, and it's easy for whatever device you're getting to get a reading. So just shoot for 75 if you want a number. And that's it. Go speaker to speaker, write down what each speaker is actually measuring, and then you'll have a complete picture of this is what the room correction did for me. Now note that unless you are in a perfect setup theater, you know, you've got space to every speaker, everything is symmetrical, room treatment's good, great speakers, blah, 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 you're probably going to see some results that aren't perfect. There's the room for improvement. So what do you do to improve it? You go in after you figure out what you're actually getting, and say you've got a speaker that's reading 2 dB high or 2 dB low, just pulling numbers out of the air. You go into receiver, play the test track, get to that speaker, and change your level until your meter reads whatever you're going for to equalize with the rest of them. And do that for each one until you've got all of them matched. Then listen again and tell me if it doesn't improve. I'd be interested in hearing how far off your results were. Let me know what room correction or calibration you ran. Let me know the details of your room. Are you like me with a back wall really close to your seating? That definitely affects any kind of room correction. You know, let me know what the results were. I'd be very curious. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments and I'll try to help. That's it. See you next time.